This is the only tested and proven way to make perfectly roasted groundnuts. Let's get cozy in the kitchen, and of course we can't fail to do some value addition onto our amazing groundnuts. So let us now get started. We definitely need our groundnuts. Here I just purchased 1 kg of my groundnuts. Something I've also come to realize is that in the market you'll find different varieties of these groundnuts. Make sure that you get the most and the tastiest ones. You can always ask your vendor so that you can be able to purchase the most sweetest groundnuts, because they are usually of different varieties. The first step I usually do with my groundnuts is that I get a very large tray. You can also use howto. Howto is simply a winnower which has been in use since the ancient times. Till to date, it was discovered by just using palm leaves. Through that scale, that is how howto came to be. And this is a very useful tool which is good to separate grains from the chaff. Now the moment to get familiar with the Njugu Karanga. Maybe for those who are not so much conversant with the Swahili dialect, I simply mean that it is the golden opportunity to separate the chaff within our groundnuts and then leave behind our clean peanuts. This process took me quite some time so that I can fully ensure that my groundnuts are perfectly clean before I start further processes. Make sure that you take your time. Don't be in a rush, because of course we need our food clean before we start cooking it. Little secret about me: whenever I am in the kitchen, I usually ensure that I pour lots and lots of love in whatever I do. I am also a firm believer on how valuable and precious time is. So whenever I am in the kitchen, I give everything quality time so that I can always get amazing results. Of course, nobody wants awful results in the kitchen. The scriptures also always reminds us about time. It emphasizes that there's always time for everything, and so is our life. There's always time to get to the kitchen and also to engage in various other activities. I can't also forget the fact that I love trying recipes. Whenever I come across a nice recipe which I feel it will be so much palatable, I usually take my time and try that particular recipe. It took me some time to get my chaff off from my groundnuts. Just to emphasize about our channel, this is an amazing channel whereby we do share amazing and healthy recipes, DIY crafts, and anything in between. So please join us today by subscribing and turn on your notifications so that you may always get updated whenever we are uploading any new video. After fully separating my chaff from my groundnuts, I now went ahead to the kitchen sink and started cleaning my groundnuts. Of course, we need to eat clean food, and make sure that you don't skip this particular stage. Don't assume that the groundnuts are clean. No way. We must clean them before we get ahead to roasting them. We are going to dry them. I use this kitchen towel. Make sure that it is very, very dry. So right now I'm going to dry these groundnuts before we get into the further steps. You will always get the best results whenever you take quality time in each and every steps you see here. Pat them dry completely so that it can give you an easy time during the roasting stage. Did you watch our previous video on how we prepared an amazing multi-purpose homemade carrot oil? In case you didn't do that, please find the link and also various other links of amazing videos in the description down below. Within a short duration of time, our groundnuts are now completely dry. I ensure that I give them quality time, and of course I poured a lot of love because this is what I love doing. Now we can get to the roasting time. I then took my pan and then I placed on this stove. I firstly gave it some good time so that it can fully heat and then it to be fully distributed in my pan. After that, I got my peanuts, which are very well cleaned and dried, and then I poured them into my pan, just as you can see. Another tool which we need in this particular step is our wooden mwiko. This will be a very important tool to ensure that we turn our peanuts side by side as they continue roasting very slowly. Again, ensure that you are using medium amount of heat. After a few minutes of heating my groundnuts, it was now the perfect time to introduce my spices of the day. And for your information, the only spice we use here, it is salt. I don't know any other proven and tested spice. Maybe you can put down below on the comment section. Let me know any other thing we can put in our groundnuts. I personally use salt, and I usually make a salt solution, and after that I just pour my salt solution bit by bit as I continue roasting my groundnuts, just as you can see. The perfect time to introduce your salt solution is right away. Don't waste a lot of time. Doing this will greatly boost their taste in the final product, unlike when you introduce the salt solution towards the end of the roasting time when the groundnuts are fully roasted. I highly recommend observing this tip whenever you are making your groundnuts, because this ensures that I get the best results during this roasting of my groundnuts. There are various amazing benefits of making your own roasted groundnuts. Firstly, you are able to save more, and this ensures that you get more for less. Roasting your own groundnuts will also ensure that you spend some quality time in your kitchen. You can also control what goes in your groundnuts, that is specifically the various ingredients you choose to incorporate when you are roasting your groundnuts. You can always tell that your groundnuts are fully roasted whenever you find out that the peels can easily come off when you try to remove them using your hands, just as you can see. You can also tell that your groundnuts are fully roasted through the aroma they release in your kitchen area. Another thing is that they can start turning into this brown color, and you can as well know that they are ready in case they start removing the pop-up sound. At this particular moment, my groundnuts were fully roasted, so I turned off the heat and then I set them aside. Without much wasting time, right now I was already salivating to get a taste of these perfectly roasted groundnuts, so I went ahead to get some, and I really enjoyed. They were super delicious, and I couldn't enjoy them much more better, so I decided to do this one more tip to get more for less in these peanuts of mine. These were indeed one of the yummiest groundnuts I have ever prepared. In order to roast your groundnuts perfectly, please follow this recipe and watch until the end. So now I got an extra bowl and I divided my groundnut into 2 batches. We are going to use this particular batch in order to prepare our peanut paste, that is peanut butter. We firstly need to remove the peels in order to get very clear and very clean peanut paste. So right now I went ahead to put this particular batch in this kitchen towel, and then I did this one more tip to ensure that all the peels are off from my groundnut. After completing removing my chaff, I now went ahead to separate the chaff from my groundnut. So I took an extra bowl whereby I separated the chaff from my groundnuts, and so I set the groundnuts aside while the chaff was left behind in my kitchen towel. As always, being patient is key in the kitchen, so it will take you some time, and to give a very good job you need to take quality time and give a little bit of patience, not forgetting giving it lots of love in whatever you do. So now after I finished, I grabbed my blender and I transferred my peanuts, now ready for blending or crushing. Other kitchen tools which are perfect for this particular job is either your food processor or else your food crusher. In case you have a very strong machine, it will be so much important. Personally, this one, my blender took me some time to get the job done. So I now went ahead to get my hand blender, which also came in handy to make sure that my paste is finer, and it also ensure that the consistency is much more better. Who else has ever used an hand blender to make your peanut paste? I feel that you can just use it in the final touches of maybe perfecting the consistency. This is the consistency which was suitable for me. I could not get any further. This was just okay to suit my various needs. You can use this peanut paste or peanut butter in making various other dishes like your meat and also your vegetables. You can also incorporate it in your various soups. Do you know that you can use peanut flour or else peanut butter to make the most delicious, palatable and healthy peanut broth? In some of our next videos, we are going to share an amazing recipe on how to prepare a peanut sauce in order to not be left out whenever we upload that video. Please make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button and also turn on your notifications to always get updated whenever any amazing video such like that one comes up. To optimize the healthy benefits of this peanut, I highly recommend that you make use of this peanut flour or else peanut paste or butter in making various other dishes at your home. You can use it to make your peanuts, groundnut sauce. You can as well use it in making your soups, your vegetables and also your meats. After I was done preparing my peanut butter, which is a value addition to my peanuts, I stored them in this amazing container and then I closed it up and now it is ready for use. Thank you so much guys for watching. I hope this video was so much valuable to you. I also hope that you have gained something new. Please share below what maybe you might have consumed something new from this amazing video. In case you are looking for a perfectly roasted peanut recipe, this is it guys. Once again, I shout out to my 1250 subscribers. Let's see each other in the next video. Bye.